David Allen, full character breakdown. He gets the treatment today after his sister got the treatment yesterday. What's up, everybody? Let's break David Allen down and talk about how he works, what my thoughts are, and how I think about, how strong he is, how good his abilities are, what's probably the best build to use. This isn't necessarily like a build video. This is just me like theory crafting and talking about what I tested and what worked and what didn't work. So first, let's go over his abilities. The first thing is his active, which is Beacon of Hope. It reduces fear for you and any teammates within the Flames aura. Evil units within the aura require an increased amount of infernal energy to possess. This has a 120-second cooldown. The fear reduction speed is 2, and the duration is 30 seconds. So basically, it acts like kind of a mini light source. It's not as good as like a campfire would be, a matchstick light source, but I think it feels like it's slightly better than like a normal ambient light source that you'd find in the world. Before we get to these two, let's talk about boosted beacon because it goes hand in hand. It increases the range of Beacon of Hope's aura and the infernal energy cost to maintain possession within the aura. Attacking a possessed evil unit within the aura reduces the demon's infernal energy. The aura effect range is increased to 250. Infernal energy reduction per hit is 0.5, and the infernal energy required is 0.5. I don't like this ability. I think his ability is really bad. The reason I think that is because the only time that this ability is really all that helpful is mid to late game when you're on the blue objectives, the dagger, the pages, and then when you get to the dark ones in the book. And the reason it's not great is because the idea here is supposed to be if somebody hangs out inside of your blue flame, it's going to drain a bunch of their infernal energy. And instead of getting to the point where it's like, oh, we got to kill this thing or knock out its balance bar, hey, we can drain the demon of all their energy. And then they get kicked out of the possession, and then then they can't do anything, right? Now they can't place any portals. They got to go get more infernal energy. Problem is, like I said, the only time that this is really helpful is on the blue objectives or dark ones in book. At that point, the demon is regenerating so much infernal energy, it doesn't mean anything. And I even tried to use this as I tried to use like a hunting knife or syringes. I think I primarily used syringes and spammed light attacks to try to land those super quick hits. I shouldn't have done this motion, but hey, there's syringes, okay? There's syringes. I'm stabbing people with syringes super fast, trying to drain their infernal energy. And I did. I was on the blue objective and I did it. I, hadn't killed the unit. I think they had possessed an elite, and we didn't damage them or anything. And they just dropped the possession because they must have run out of infernal energy. And literally like 5 seconds later, they just spawned like 3 portals and possessed a new unit. And I was like, oh, so that was useless. Like this ability sucks. It's just not, and I cannot believe it has a 120-second cooldown. It would be really good anywhere outside of the blue objectives and the dark ones and the pages, but you're going to be out in the open world and on the move in those situations. And it's kind of like the cauldron that the Plaguebringer has. The demon's not an idiot. Most of the time, they're not. If they're in an area where they don't need to be there, like they need to be on the blue objectives, then they're not going to stand inside the range of your flame. They're going to leave the area so that you don't zap all their infernal energy. And if you stay within range of the beacon and force them to come in and enter the range and drain all their infernal energy, it's still not that detrimental to the demon because you're not going anywhere, because you're not moving to go find pages. You're just staying still. And so, I mean, maybe you gain a few extra seconds because you didn't go anywhere. You zapped all the demons' infernal energy, and now they got to go find more orbs. Like, how much time did you really gain doing all that? And on top of that, you probably took a bunch of damage. So instead of just running and not taking any damage. So is that trade-off really worth it? I don't think so. So this ability, it's just not good. I can't say anything else about it. It's bad. It's a bad ability. Before I get into Soda Pop, I want to talk about Weapon Master Nailgun, because this thing is garbage. The Weapon Master itself is nice because it's a 20% increase. However, the Nailgun is the worst ranged weapon in the game by a significant margin. And so for a class that already doesn't deal a lot of range damage, that's really bad. The Nailgun is really bad because now I thought the worst weapon used to be the lever action rifle, but they changed the ammo type to pistol. So now the lever action rifle is okay. Yeah, I still don't see any reason that you would take the lever action over like the revolver. But the nail gun is just trash, because think about it this way. If you're using a build like this that is centered around range damage, and you do what I like to do, which is take a revolver and headshot mobs and kind of contribute in that way, the nail gun, if you try to do it with that, number one, the nail gun with maxed out damage like this cannot one-shot Plaguebringer. Why am I forgetting her name all of a sudden? It cannot one-shot Plaguebringer basics with a headshot. It does like 90% damage. There's still a little sliver of health left, so that's terrible for ammo economy with your nail gun. And on top of that, nail gun uses special ammo. Special ammo only gives you 3 shots with each box of ammo you pick up. Handgun gives you 5. So the revolver's way better because the revolver does more damage and does enough to where it can one-shot basics, and it takes handgun ammo. So handgun ammo, you get a lot more of it because you get 2 extra bullets every time you pick up a box. So Weapon Master Nail Gun is really bad, primarily because the nail gun is so bad. The nail gun is terrible. Now, I would say that David here is the worst support if it wasn't for Soda Pop. Soda Pop is arguably, and you know, I'd have to really think about all the different support abilities. I think it's arguably the best support ability in the game. It's so funny to me that this thing just feels like it's kind of an afterthought thematically to what he's got going on here, but it's by far his best ability. 30% damage reduction for 30 seconds every time he drinks a Shemps is absurd. It is outrageous. If you're a good support who, you know, knows how to like center yourself and hit all your teammates with a Shemps and, you know, give all of them that 30% damage reduction, this is crazy. It's crazy on the blue objectives. It's crazy at the book, especially because that's the time where the demon's trying to take out the book, and some people might, you know, catch some collateral damage as demons are trying to hit the book and deal a ton of damage to somebody and potentially kill them on accident. Giving everybody 30% damage reduction during that crucial stage is massive. Soda Pop is nuts. And Soda Pop alone is what makes this guy probably meh to okay instead of just outright the worst character. Soda Pop is really good. As far as the build goes, it's the same standard build that I use on Cheryl. I put 4 points into Shemps Plus, 1 point into Artful Dodger because I want that extra dodge. You don't need to put 2 points into this. It's only a 5% difference, and it's not going to give you an extra dodge. Don't waste an extra point in that, please. I see some people doing that. It's foolishness. 1 point into Seeing Stars, 3 points into Wig Splitter, 1 point into Tougher Than Hell, and then 3 points into Hollow Points. I do this to ensure that I can one-shot headshot basics because that's how I like to play. My play style is headshotting basics and then keeping kind of out of the fray, like staying on the fringe of everything so that I'm not getting focused, I'm not getting hit by things, I'm not like in the center of the melee and then getting hit in the back by AI units, which is especially important now that AI units are more aggressive. So I just kind of hang back, and it's kind of a roundabout way, an indirect way of also preventing your team from taking damage, because I will hang back and see all my teammates in the middle of the mosh pit, if you will. And as AI units are coming in to stab them in the back, I'll headshot them. And then it's like, oh, that was a hit that they probably would have taken had I not headshotted that unit. So I probably just saved them from taking a bunch of damage. And in a way, you can consider that as like I kind of healed them. I pre-healed them. And then I put 1 point into long life batteries to get deep pockets amulets, 1 point into first aid, 2 points into Shem's colas, 2 points into packing pop, 4 points into industrial strength. I will say that you can maybe take 1 point out of packing pop and distribute this somewhere else. I wouldn't put it in Artful Dodger, even for that extra 5%. You can maybe take this and give yourself a little bit extra damage reduction if you want. The reason I say that you probably don't need to put points into packing pop, the reason I had it there is because when I played this on the test server, when I was invited to do that for the dev stream, it felt like in the 2 matches that I played that they had nerfed the amount of healing items significantly. They didn't. I played all day today. They did nerf healing item spawns on Castle Kandar, but there's still plenty of healing items on both that map and the old maps. It was just bad RNG. It was totally anecdotal. There's still plenty of healing items all over the place. I took this as a precautionary measure because, like, man, if they really did nerf the amount of healing items that hard, you're going to need double packing pop, because these might be the only Shemps you find in the whole game. But we really did just get super unlucky. So you don't have to put double points into that. I would still put 1 point into it just to max out industrial strength, though. So this is how I like to play them. I will say there is potential. Let's say you don't care about range damage. That's not how you play. You're just not interested in it. I think that there's potential, especially on this guy, of doing this and going all in on damage reduction, because then if you got 10% here and 10% here, plus his soda pop, that's a 50% damage reduction. That's a lot. That makes him like a super tank whenever he drinks a Shemps. And I think that there is potential for playing him that way. And I would say that if you were going to play him that way, I would probably just do the regular old snooze fest of going in on balance bar, you know. Just say, let's go tanky, let's go balance bar, and just try to contribute in that way. If you wanted to max out balance bar damage, it's only a 5% difference. Is it really that important? I don't know. Maybe you could take 1 point out of one of these. I don't know if I'd feel comfortable doing it. I don't know that I'd want to take a point out of Shemps Plus, because that's a 10% difference. I think I'd probably be okay with this. But hey, I'm just giving you ideas here. You can decide for yourself what you want to do with your build. Final thoughts are, he's a decent support. Same as Mia, I think he's the 3rd best support. I think Cheryl still reigns supreme. I think Cheryl's still the best support. It's possible David is 2nd, because I have heard rumors that there's something wrong with Pablo. Again, I don't know if it's true. Half the time I get people in my Twitch chat who tell me, hey man, did you see this new bug? And they're just lying out of their butts. And then it's not true at all. The rumor that I have heard is that now when Pablo gets into a car, demons can seed him with demon vision at all times. The bug he had was that when he went down or died or something like that, I don't remember specifically what it was, But when he went down or died and came back, got back up, the next time he got into a car, he could be detected via demon vision. I've heard people claiming that Pablo can now be detected via demon vision in a car at all times. I don't know if that's true or not. For the sake of this video, it doesn't make, it's not a huge deal. If that is true, I would say Pablo is behind David. If it's not true and he cannot be detected with demon vision when he's driving a car, then I'd put Pablo above him. So there you go. I'd still put Support Ash last. Support Ash is an interesting one because he's terrible in solo queue. If you were with a full team that was organized and on comms and calling out when you were going to mark headshots and making sure people follow up on it, Support Ash is potentially the best support. If you assume that everybody's communicating and everybody plays extremely well, then he could be the best. In solo queue, he's by far the worst. So there you go. In case anyone yells at me, he's like, Support Ash is actually really good. If you communicate well and use him flawlessly, then yes, he is. But under normal circumstances, no, he's not. So I would say David is average. That's really all there is to him. I don't think there's a whole lot of like versatility outside of these builds. I'd say you either want to go tankiness with him or go range like I do. I don't see a whole lot of point in doing melee damage with him, particularly because his 2 melee damage perks are Devastating Force and the Last Word, and the Last Word just isn't a very good damage perk. I don't even take that on my warriors. I only put the 1 point that I have to in that perk on warriors. And then I just don't see a whole lot of point in putting points into these. Never put points into Approved Amulet. All the revive perks are garbage. Don't put points into that. Someone's going to comment and say, yes, they're good. No, they're not. No, they're not. Stop it. Stop trying to trick people. You guys are demon mains in disguise. Trying to trick people to take these revive perks. They're trash. Don't do it. Because you can never guarantee that you are going to be the person to get the revive. So it's not worth it to put points into perks, especially points into perks that you may never even see the benefit of. Like all these perks that you have points in, you are going to see the benefit from these perks in every game that you play. There will be games if you put points into these revive perks where nobody goes down, and now you just wasted points in those perks because you didn't get any benefit from them. So don't put points into those. Like I said, Approved Amulet sucks. Don't put points into that. If you've seen my shield video, you'll know why. Fear No Evil, you don't really need to put points into that because fear reduction I've never felt is really necessary on supports. You don't do a whole lot of damage anyway. So most of the time, if a demon possesses you, it's kind of a win for you. I will say there are more demons that are just possessing just to level now. They just possess you and then immediately depossess. That's a thing. Still don't think it's necessary to put points into this, though. And then the stuff, the objective related perks, again, not really necessary except on somebody like Pablo because the detection radius, it just isn't that good. Fast forward, maybe there's potential for that if you're in a fully organized group. And you know, you're all taking fast forward. Like I put my max this out and I'm playing with 3 leaders. Maybe there's potential in that. But outside of that, I don't think it's necessary. So there you go. There's David Allen, full breakdown to give you an idea of maybe how to play him, what my thoughts are. Again, I think he's kind of mid to low tier. Hey, as always, thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think about David Allen, any ideas you might have for how to play him. And if you have an effective way of playing him, let me know, because I'd love to test it and see for myself. Sometimes people come up with ideas and they're like, hey, Sledge, you should try this. It's really good. I try it, and it turns out it's really good. That happens sometimes. But for now, thank you all for watching. Like the video, subscribe, all that stuff. As always, I will see you all in the next video, and thank you for watching.